Hi, I'm Amy Smollers. I am a certified high performance coach and CEO of Strategic Market Insight. And welcome to this week's episode of Reflective Fridays. The topic for this week is the idea of practice makes better practice. Practice, I don't believe, makes perfect. I think when we work at things continually to develop ourselves to the next level, to learn to develop a sense of mastery, and to also be contributing, that just leads to better ways to do it. Nothing's perfect, but it helps you get along that road to improvement. And there's a couple areas in my life where I use the practice makes better practice, and actually it's many areas. And I just wanted to share two with you today because I struggle and work with daily on how I can make theory relevant and actionable, whether it be for the students that I'm teaching, for my kids to learn something new, or working with clients. Because how often have you come up to something and say, well, in theory it should work, and if you're not able to translate that into the language of the person you're talking with or the group you're working with, you're not able to make it relevant to their situations. The theory's all well and good, but oftentimes it's hard to follow through. And so one example I just wanted to share with you today is around with my students. So I teach a graduate course, and I love teaching these students. It's an MBA program here in Massachusetts, and the class is Business, Government, and Global Economy. So just by the title, you can probably imagine that there's a fair amount of theoretical principles and theory involved in that class, which is all well and good, but these students work full-time and they go to class full-time at night. And I was in their shoes over 16 years ago when I did the same thing. And the last thing you need at the end of a full work day in a classroom at night is to sit and learn about theory. So what I do in the class is I chose a book that has case studies and less formulas, because case studies, you're learning what other companies are doing and how they are collaborating, businesses to business or business with government, and the impact that can have on the global economy. But again, because it's case studies, it makes it real, a little more real to them. And in terms of what they do for work, I don't have them write 5, 10, 20-page papers, because when they go back to work, none of them are writing 15-page reports. Right? Many of them have memos, or they have 5 or 10 minutes to present their idea on a topic. And so taking the theory of learning of those pieces and letting them practice that in the classroom, so they have to write memos to go forward and give presentations to the class and their fellow students. Now they can use that practice to make better practice in their work environments, where they're able to share their ideas in a concise, clear way, both written and verbally. So it's always a challenge to be able to work to take that theory and make it relevant and actionable, but it's so important, because if you don't, the theory just stays out there, and there's not a really good way to translate that into the language of the people you're working with. So my challenge for you today is, when you go to share an idea or work to be influential with a person or a group, what are you doing to make that communication relevant and actionable for that person, that group, that audience? Because that's so important, because that's going to help you, get your idea across and have them take it up and use it. And the more that you do that, the more practice you get, the better you get, and then you're able to take yourself to the next level, whether that be ways to communicate with people, ways of engagement, your level of influence. It's always just a matter of constant practice and doing the work and putting in the effort. So with that, I thank you and honor you for watching this week's episode of Reflective Fridays. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get these automatically. And share this video with someone who you think could benefit from learning the idea that practice doesn't make perfect, but practice makes better practice. So thanks again, and don't forget to start and end every day with a smile.